me la quiero tomar ya. Entonces, ándale, Emiliano, te la pidió Jorge. Aquí, que aquí te venga. Esa parte del diseño.
Hey everyone, welcome back to NOTIERS Frontiers Diaries. Today we are once again taking the motorcycle out in Illinois, our home state.
And we are going over the little recreation of our book, Too Open Overloaded. You can find it in the little comments below.
We're reminiscing on Mexico,
of our,
and how amazing it was.
Pretty much the start of our entire adventure into a new country. So we've already made it down through Baja.
And Mexico was proving to be absolutely amazing. And this next part, the Yucatan Peninsula, was definitely one of my all-time favorite areas of the world. It's just incredible, and it's famous for its Mayan ruins.
Yes.
And since we had just visited La Quemada in Mexico, which is a Mesoamerican ruin, and Teotihuacan, right outside of Mexico City, we...
That's what I wanted. We're both safe now.
We're both safe,
we're both
really.
Safe.
I don't know.
Yes.
I think it's
me more so,
on me, but
we're both okay.
Whatever it is. Super excited to see some of the Mayan ruins that the Yucatan Peninsula had.
Yeah, I hopped on Google and started, searching for different ruins in the area, and there's just too many to see them all. There's
so many.
I wish we
so
spent
many.
the time to see more, but oh my God, we spent so much time just zigzagging from one to the other.
Yeah, the first one we saw will always stay in my memory as just incredible for its skilled artwork with the carvings, the stone carvings, and it was Uxmal. I'm saying it right, Uxmal.
Uxmal.
Yes.
I would not have said it correctly, but yeah, there was a trend of me and just throughout my life. Really, I don't even have to be in a foreign country of just mispronouncing everything that I see. But
yeah, that has happened.
So I have Marisa along for me. But we went to Uxmal, and it was beautiful. A lot of
gorgeous.
Like every ruin to me kind of has its own little unique fingerprint. It has its own you know, essence of itself, built by even if it was the same group of people. But these ones had very intricate designs of like monkeys and birds and stuff over the archways and the doors, and I mean it looked like a 3D printed, you know, sculpture.
It was unbelievable how they carved all of this. The Yucatan Peninsula is made out of mostly limestone, so a lot of these ruins are also made out of limestone. So if you know anything about limestone, it's very easily eroded by water. So that can be underground water, it can be seawater. This can create the caves.
That's what the cenotes and the cave systems.
Cenotes are like kind of like sinkholes where they have water and you can go swimming in them, and a lot of them in the Yucatan. And those are been created because of the limestone. It's so porous.
Yeah.
And also they build a lot of their ruins, or the Mayans would build a lot of the ruins out of limestone. But this can be a problem because the rain can actually erode the carvings, and so it's really incredible to have this much detail. These carvings were just mind-blowing, and there were tons of them. And the big temple there in Uxmal, I mean, you get a view of all the other temples and structures, and it just feels like you are on another planet. It feels like another world.
These were really beautiful and unique because the temples had like rounded edges to them.
Yes.
It wasn't like right angles, and you know, the whole geometry of them was very unique.
They were so smart.
Beautiful. Yeah.
I mean, their engineering was fantastic.
Yeah.
To be able to create those perfectly round edges along with that pyramid structure.
Yeah. Everybody knows of the Mayans and their weird basketball
Those
game
games.
with the little loop, and for some reason they sacrifice the winners, which is
I never understood
not very
that.
good sportsmanship in my idea. But
doesn't really make you want to win.
they had these cool courts that are RVs and
I mean, it's perfect. Like, you could play that game
to this day.
To this day in that court.
Yeah, and I would lose. And just a heads up.
Yes, I would purposefully lose.
But there's these little snake heads that come out that go into like rings, and then there's like they're not emperors, but the priestess little viewing port where you know, you can imagine
nobility would be.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
And as much like the motorcycles are a mode of transportation, and I love being on it, and I love driving through scenery and being part of all that. But when you can ride, you know, two wheels to a site like this and explore around with the love of your life, and this beautiful, you're in a foreign country at this exotic temple. I mean, that was everything that I've ever wanted, and the exact reason why I quit my job and sold all of my stuff. And I think I had like an epiphany right then and there, just thinking to myself, yeah, this was the right choice.
This is the life. And what's really cool about this for all of you Americans and Canadians out there is it's not that far. If you wanted to just ride there, it's not like you have to go to the other side of the world to experience something that is otherworldly. Just, I mean, there's not even words for it. I loved it so much. From Uxmal, we then have probably the most famous of all the Mayan ruins.
Chichen Itza. That's what I call it.
No, Chichen Itza.
Spelled Chichen Itza.
No.
I'm going to open up a small little sub shop called Chichen Itza. Right outside.
What does the chicken eat?
Chicken eats a grub. But that's one of the modern world wonders.
Yes,
and
that's
we
one
went,
of the 7 world wonders,
You know, we're unemployed, so we don't have like weekends don't mean anything to us. Months groups don't really mean anything to us.
Right.
You know, we've been chasing summer, which was real nice. But we ended up in Chichen Itza just around
Christmas time. And this
So a
turned out
lot
to
of-
be really bad.
Well, it's a world wonder, and everybody is on Christmas break and New Year's break. And it was
It was packed.
just a line that went, and then
hours and
just
hours.
insane. Like you go from the parking lot, and then you go to the main gates, and then you realize, oh well, there's a line, and it goes all the way there, and then it turns left around that corner. So you trot over there, and then you look around the next corner, and you see it goes all the way down, and then turns, like 3 blocks, and then turns right.
It's too long.
It was way too long, and I was griping a little bit that, like, I don't even know if this would be worth it,
Right.
and Marissa's like, it's a world wonder, Tim. Like
we're here.
we are
have
here.
To
Why?
go. We
Why
have
is
to
this?
go.
Don't be so sourpuss, because this is going to be fantastic. There was actually a gentleman from Arkansas right in front of us with
and we
his
lived
kid,
in Arkansas.
his kid and his wife. We saw the little Razorback Arkansas shirt. It was nice to talk to him, and then you can hire these guides, right? And I don't like guides because I just like to walk around on my own leisure and not,
Ignorance is bliss, we say.
yeah.
But guides can be really important for some places, and some people really love them.
Well, and I don't speak Spanish. I mean, all these
Yeah.
guides were definitely spoke English and
Yeah.
Spanish. That was their job. But we kind of said no, thank you as they walked by, and then we realized that if you hire one of these guides,
You skip the line.
you skip the entire line, and it was like $5 a head. And so me and the Arkansas people, I was like, hey man, it's $5 a head, so that's $15 from you guys and $10 from us to
Right.
skip this next
Which
4
would have
hours.
taken, at least 3 hours to go
And
through
so
that
I flagged
line.
down a guide and I said, dude, your sales pitch doesn't need to be, I'll tell you about stuff. It needs to be, I'll tell you what, you give me $30, you skip this entire line, and then there'd just be an equally long line right to the left of it, because everybody'd be like, yeah, why
They
wouldn't I
want
do
the
that?
guides, yeah, exactly.
And so we hired the guide. We passed all the other people. We got in, and then the 5 of us, we said, thank you for your service, and now we're going to go this way. And so that was a great life hack if you ever find yourself there.
No, but he did have some really incredible information. So this particular site is so famous because its main temple has, what's it called, geoastrolocation. So basically they built it so that on the solstice, one of the solstices, the snake on the edge of the stairs will be highlighted by the sun to the snake head at the bottom.
Yeah, there's a big limestone carved snake head at the very bottom of it, and when the sun hits it just right on the solstice, it's a contrast of the shadow of the right side and then the brick of the left side, and that's what makes the alternating twisting of the snake. And
I mean, the engineering behind it is just out of this world.
Yeah.
So it has become extremely famous.
And I thought it was cool because I like both ruins that are, semi-ruined, if you will, and then some that are still pristine. Sometimes it just feels like there's a fake facade on the outward appearance of it, because they do refurbish them. And the main temple there, what is it called? Is that Chichen Itza?
I just know it as Chichen Itza.
Yeah, but the main temple with the cool little snake thing, like they resurfaced, very well done, 2 of the sides, and then on the back of the side you can see where the guy who rediscovered it, what it looked like. It's still amazingly impressive.
Because it was all under jungle foliage at that time. Yeah, it is very impressive.
And somehow I almost appreciate the raw version of it. It is nice to get that beautiful picture, but just where time and man and nature have met in the middle, I think is the coolest.
I'm actually of a different opinion. I really like it when it's not really refurbishing. What do they call it? Restoration. I like the restorations because I can better imagine myself there as opposed to when it's a pile of rocks. Now this one was not a pile of rocks,
No.
it was still very impressive. But I can see both sides of the coin, and I can see both arguments, and sometimes the restorations are not good and overpower.
Or sometimes it's just the best guess. They have no idea, you know, and so
Right.
I do like the Phantom of the Opera look, the yin and the yang of both. I think
That was really cool that they left that.
Yeah. And
like the
right around
Colosseum.
the corner from there are some building structures that were just those little skulls that were built into.
Yes, they carved carvings of skulls all along the side of it. And there was a lot of human sacrifice at that time. I think sometimes we like to overemphasize it and just think of human sacrifice as opposed to all the other incredible things of the culture. But definitely those carvings of the skulls showed the importance of death to the Mayan people. But Chichen Itza, I mean, it was well worth it.
Really
Even if
cool.
we had to stand in the line the whole
Indeed.
time, it would have been well worth it.
And I always tried to go into a situation with a fresh slate without trying to think of it too much. I mean, this was a world wonder, so my expectations were high. And then we got there, and the line was huge, and we weren't going to get in for hours, and so my mood dropped. And then we get in, and then we see these amazing things. And when my mood was way down here just before getting in, then it's just a skyrocket of more adrenaline and emotion. And so I'm just on this personal roller coaster of expectations and reality versus
you know what, that's a really good point, because it is all about expectations. Like if you go to the Yucatan thinking, I'm going to see Chichen Itza and it's going to be the most incredible experience of my life. You know, it's like going into a movie being like, this is going to be the best movie ever.
And then it's like
you
Star
just
Wars
set yourself
Episode
up.
1.
Yeah. So you do have to always put your expectations in check. And I think that is why I like to be surprised sometimes, as opposed to reading all the information I can and envisioning how I'm going to tour a place before I go there. Sometimes I like to just discover it myself as I'm there, and then everything will be new to me, as opposed to, is it meeting my expectations?
And sometimes even when we're there, and this happened in the States too, when we're at like Bryce Canyon and all the hoodoos and all the,
so cool.
you know, it was amazing. And in my mind, I just like to make things up on how this could have possibly been created by weather and nature, and you know, and then I'll read the spoiler alert plaques from the scientists who nerd it out. But it's just fun to look at nature and man-made structures alike and just be blown away before you get info dumped with facts, which are also very very cool. And I have a living thesaurus / dictionary /
I'm full of facts.
Yeah, she is full
Pointless
of facts. Her and Rick Steves would be best friends. So,
Yes. But in Chichen Itza, one of the cool things that the guide told us was we saw all these other tour groups like clapping hands in kind of the central area between two buildings, one of them being the main Chichen Itza temple.
Right in front of the steps.
Yeah, and we're like, what are they doing?
1, 2, 3. Follow my hand. 1, 2, 3.
But it turns out that if you clap your hands a certain way, it sounds like the Quetzalcoatl bird, which is a very now rare but incredible bird of that region.
Yeah, and it's so it's like the mating call or whatever, but there's 360 steps or whatever equal to the equinox.
Oh, to the days of the year.
And then there's 4 sides, so that's 900, which equates to something or another.
There's some math that happens.
There's some complicated math that the Aztecs were into.
Mayans.
The Mayans were into. But
I think the Aztecs were also into that really complicated math.
They had a calendar. No, that was Mayans again.
That was the Mayans.
Yes.
Maybe the Aztecs had a calendar.
I'm sure they did.
But the Mayans certainly also had a calendar. They were so good at math, astrology, geometry, and engineering.
But the Quetzal sound, the mating call, you clap, and then it's the echo reverberating from each stair, kind of like in this.
You hear the echoes?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Sound
Yeah.
going back. It was just really, really crazy.
Really
and I don't know if
amazing.
that's a myth and like the
Could just be something they made up.
the architect. If I build a building and then went like that and went, I'd be like, I did that for the reasoning.
You have to stand right here.
Yeah, it's a really cool feature. I totally did on purpose.
Yeah, right, of
But
course.
yeah, no, it was just a really good day of walking around
It was.
and enjoying ourselves. And it's well maintained, big open fields. It was just a very pleasurable experience. Hey everyone, so I kind of blibber blabbered on too much in this episode, so we're gonna split this one up into 2. So we hope you enjoyed what you had so far, and join us next time for part 2.
Part 2.
Peace everybody.
See you. Bye.
Bye.